Well, it's true that all engineering is based on data, but the question really is it's often rather sporadic. It's often not very well formulated. All too often, it's a bit too sparse. So I think the whole point of the data-centric engineering agenda is assembling the mass of data that is accumulating now, especially with the new sensing technologies we have. There's a whole lot more data coming, and the time is right to really acknowledge that, and that's why data-centric engineering is such an important new discipline. I think a lot of things. Certainly in my own field, in the field of infrastructure, we have a massive amount of infrastructure in the UK, much of which is really old. Some of it several hundred years old now, and that's really a problem. And there are real questions to ask about what its remaining life is. How can that be understood? And the only way to really understand that is to get an evidence base, is to really measure what happens to it, measure its performance, interpret that, and make really meaningful decisions on the basis of that. Open access is particularly important nowadays. There's a whole question about the accessibility of data, and the potential for having academics and practitioners being able to see data that normally would be perhaps kept confidential or kept in a private organization. So I think the concept of the open access journal is very powerful. Well, the audiences for a new data-centric journal are both academics and engineering practitioners. Academics for obvious reasons, for being able to pursue particular subjects and to have PhD projects and research projects. Practitioners more and more need to access new data. They need to be able to themselves understand what kind of measurements, what kind of data has been discovered by others. So it's I think, a very rich field for both academics and practitioners. Well, policies are, in the end, when we're really talking about government policies have to be evidence-based, and evidence-based really means data. And so the whole question of how government departments have to come to different conclusions on which to base new policies is all revolving around data, all revolving around evidence. Without the evidence, without the data, the policies don't really have much strength.